So what I like to do is very, very, very lightly with a pencil, very lightly. I like to make a circle, a line across the circle, right in the middle of the circle. So as if you're cutting it in half. And you guys are in second grade, so I know what half means, right? So after you do that, that's just a guideline. Right on the circle where you made that, we're going to make what I call the tops of two different rainbows. So this is the tops of the eyes. It just looks like the top of a rainbow, sort of. And they're right on the line. And so then I just want you to connect them at the bottom of the line. Make sense? So that you can see they already are sort of looking like eyes. Then in the inner part of the right, we're going to put in make a little half moon in here, a little, it's not even a half of a moon, but like a little sliver of a moon. And I'm sure that if you guys were unmuted, you would know exactly what that's for, but that is for the eyelids, right? The lids. So now you've got something that looks roughly like an eye. Then you're going to make the letter a big wide U coming down from that first. So it's already looking like an eye, right? You just make like little U's. And then you're going to make another little U inside, and that is where you're going to make the pupil. And so you're going to color that area in, and that is all the dark parts of the eye. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to make a nose. And for the purposes of our group, this is what a nose is. It's a little teeny tiny, itty bitty, almost a U, but not quite. I don't even know. It's like a little bent line there. That's the nose. And then for the mouth, yeah, that looks great. That's great. For the mouth, we are going to make sort of like a letter M. So can you see that little M that I just did? You're going to connect your letter M with a line. If you like the way that looks, you can leave it, or you can make like a little W underneath. And that is how we make our lips. I want my color to be the color of Tessie's eyes. So I've taken 3 colored pencils and I'm just blending them together to make her eyes. Now what I'm doing is taking a little bit of any color paint, watercolor, and I am going around the entire outside of the face, and I am also going around the outside of the eyes. I'm taking a purple color here, as you can see, and I'm going over the entire lid area. And I'm also going to go over, well, I like to go all the way around the eyes, and you're just kind of going over the area that would be the lid and then bringing it around. You're not squeezing too much water, just really moving that brush, keeping it moving so that it uses every little bit of water. And then I'm going to grab a little bit more paint and go all the way around the outside of the head on top of that first color that I already used. And it just makes a nice little blend of colors. Now I want to add a little bit of lip color, so I'm going to grab a little bit of red and just drop it in there and let the water do its work. Next, you want to take the face and move it off to the side because we are going to pick up our canvas. Next, we're going to have to make some decisions about our canvas. Do you want it to be facing vertically? Do you want it to be facing horizontally? There is no right or wrong answer here. It's all a matter of personal preference. So you make a decision. I think I'm going to make mine go in the vertical position here. And we are going to next need to make some clothing. And by clothing, I mean you're going to go into your bag and grab some of the papers that Miss Michelle has given to you. And here's a piece of purple paper, and we're going to make some clothes. And when I say clothes, what I mean is we are going to want to rip and make something that looks vaguely like an outfit. And here I just made a simple triangle, and it immediately looks like a dress. You could make a pair of pants, you could make anything you want. And the rough edges are really nice, so I prefer to rip rather than use scissors. Now you have to decide which way you want your character to go. Will your character be standing up? Will it be in the middle of the page? Will your character be flying and hovering above something? So it's up to you, and there is really no right or wrong. You can even add limbs. Here's an arm, or you could add an arm up this way too.
The next step is we're just going to push those things to the side. And now you're going to get your little canvas back here. And this is the point where we want to think about where you want this to be on your canvas. Do you want it to go this way so that the head would be, going this direction? How do you want this to be? So mine's going to be this way. I want my character to be slightly off center, like this. And I want the dress to be a little tilty, like that. So that's how mine's gonna be. Just get yours to sort of where you like it to be. And once you have that where you want it to be, remove the head, and we are going to glue down the clothes first. That is first thing. So grab your glue sticks, and you're going to glue down the clothes where you want them to be. Then when you've got that glued down, then you want to figure out how you want your face to be. Do you want the face to be straight? Do you want the face to be a little tilty? Do you want the face to be a little tilty the other direction?
Once you have your character kind of situated, then you can play with some details like shoes or anything else you want to add.
Okay. I'm also going to take this time right now. I'm going to do what I like to do, which is I like to draw a little bit of a frame around my pictures. You do not have to do this. This is not mandatory. I just like to freehand a little line, but it's kind of a fun, just kind of a fun little thing that I like to do. So I'm just doing this real quick. I like to do this because it creates sort of like a floor for my character to stand on and creates sort of like walls. I'm going to make another line in here for inside my ear. You can glue your face down right now. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I like to draw some other things on my pictures. So I'm going to draw some flowers. Now I'm going to show you how I'm drawing my flowers. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer here. So my flowers are literally circles that I go around a couple of times, and then I make a stem, and then I make something that looks vaguely like a leaf. And I like to do 3 of them. But you don't have to do flowers. I just like to do this because it just kind of feels good to me. And it's sort of my signature move. It's like people kind of know me from my flowers a little bit. But if you have anything else that you might want to integrate into the drawing, this is your chance to do that and make it your own. So if there's something you like to draw, or if there's something that, just feels good for you to do it, make some marks, this is the time for you to do that.
At this point, we're going to start to do some of the actual painting. And the most important thing that you need to remember is to not use too much water and leave a little teeny tiny bit of space around your character so that it doesn't bleed. And as you can see, I'm adding a little bit of sky and a little bit of grass. And now that the paint is a little bit dry, I'm grabbing a darker blue color and I'm just dropping in, I hope you can see this, I'm just squeezing and dropping in a little bit of blue paint and letting it be. And what that does, as you can see, is that the paint starts to spread almost like a stained glass window, and just let the water do the magic. Let it spread and leave it alone. Just leave it alone. And once you're painting, all you need to do is in between your different colors, make sure that you blot your watercolor pencil or your watercolor paintbrush, and then you can just introduce any colors that you want. And same thing, I try to leave a little bit of a border between colors so that they don't turn into a muddy mess. It's better if you let things dry a little bit and then go over with a secondary color. So that's what I'm doing here. As you can see, I'm just adding another color around, it's kind of a sunshiny color, and I am adding that.
This is the point where you can look at some of those goodies that Michelle and Tessie put into your bags, and you can think, do you want any of those things to be glued down on your paper? Do you want, you could put on your character, you could make, some of those hearts as buttons, or you could put something on the character's face. You could also write a word on the character's face or on the outfit. So whatever you want to do, that's the next step. So if you're a little bit ahead of me, you can totally start to look in that bag and find some things that you might want to use next. And I'm coloring in my rabbit's ears. Now, once this dries a little bit, because it definitely takes a minute. So my first layer is kind of dry at this point. Then once it's dry a little bit, then you can go in another color and you can start to layer some other colors on top. So I'm using my darker green on top of my lighter green, and that will just create a little extra interest, which I hope you can sort of see. I'm using a slightly darker color now, and it just creates something a little, just some, because grass isn't all one color. When you go out there, it's not like it's all one color. It's got dark, it's got light into it. So I'm going to do my little petals, my leaves now. They're going to be, my bottom half of my leaf is going to be the dark green. And then I'm going to take that, in my kit, I have this light green. And so I'm going to put my light green over top of that, and it will bleed. So I think Michelle's question was, or Tessie's question is, can you make them bleed if you want? And my answer is yes. And that's what I'm doing now. Mine are bleeding together. So I'm dropping my light green, and the darker green is getting pulled right in there.
At this point, I am using some of the papers that Miss Michelle put in the bag, and you can see my little flowers. They're looking sort of boring, just all plain white. And so I'm ripping out some paper, and I am going to experiment a little bit to see where I might want to add some other elements of collage. So I'm going to add some flowers. I'm not sure I love that. I will play around a little bit, but I will maybe try some buttons or put something, yeah, I'm liking that. So you can play around a little bit until you get the effect that you like, and then you can glue them down. this point, I'm going to take my brightest orange. You can see there's several colors of orange, and I'm taking that lightest color and I'm dropping it onto the painting in different places, even overlapping some of the blue in the sky and some of the green on the grass. And you will see what happens when you start to mix colors. It creates a really cool depth of color, which is really nice, and it's part of the reason why I love watercolor. So the first layer is nice, but it's all about that second layer, and sometimes even the third.
I'm going to write the word brave right across her forehead. I'm doing it in cursive. You don't have to do it in cursive.
At this point in the process, I am feeling really good about everything, and I am going to use some of the small little things that were in Tessie's bag. A little snowflake, a little heart, a little star, and I am going to put them onto this picture. I'm not exactly sure what yet, but they will end up somewhere and be very cute. And so this is your opportunity to use those items.
Quiet one, don't you take it hard. Keep your head up. Your day will come. Quiet one, turn your worry down. Keep an open heart. Your day will come. Ooh, you're not alone, no. You're not alone, no. Ooh, you're not alone, no. Quiet one, you may not feel it now. Drenched yourself in doubt, but your time will come. Quietly take another step. Keep your eyes ahead. Your time will come. Ooh, you're not alone, no. 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 not alone.